Hey there guys, Carl Case, owner and CFO here at CrossFit South Bend. I want to take a few minutes to talk to you about a component of our workout routine that often gets neglected, and that is the cooldown. The cooldown is important for a number of different reasons. First of all, when we are working out, we shift into what's known as a sympathetic response. And this is when our nervous system is firing, right? Our heart rate is up, our core temperature is up, cortisol is being produced, all things necessary to have a successful workout. Is when we shift down into a parasympathetic response, also known as the rest and digest, this is when we actually start the recovery process. Now, the interesting thing about an intentional cool down, it allows that shift to happen more quickly, therefore jump-starting your recovery process. If you simply just walk out the door, get into your car, that time to shift down is going to take longer, thus prolonging your recovery process. Next is when we're in here, guys, we're actually tearing ourselves down. We're making ourselves worse, right? So by jump-starting that process sooner, those little changes over time, all right, are really going to add up for us, as well as it's going to help us decrease what's called DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. Now this is, think about when you did lunges on Monday and it's Thursday and you're still feeling those during the squats and you can barely squat that day. Now, when we implement something like a cool down routine, we can help diminish that DOMS effect. Therefore, on that day, we can get more of the squats than we would have if we hadn't done that. Next is for those of you guys that train late at night. When we train late at night, once again, that sympathetic response is high, we're jacked up, right? So when we go home, we try to fall asleep, it's not working out so well. So that intentional cool down process, shifting down to that parasympathetic, once again, going from our fight or flight, which is that sympathetic, to that parasympathetic, the rest and digest, all right? Then we can go home, we have a better night's sleep, and we know sleep is crucial to a recovery process. So what I'm gonna do, guys, I'm gonna share with you a 3 to 5 minute cool down routine that I got from my days on the Power Athlete Seminar staff to help you empower your recovery process. All right, guys, here is the butterfly cool down series. Now, a few things to keep in mind as you're going throughout this. You want to hold for about 30 to 45 seconds. You can just set up a rolling clock or have your phone nearby to keep an eye on that. Next is we want to use this as a time also to focus on our breathing. We're going to take a big inhale, filling that stomach with air, and then exhaling. And as those exhales are happening, we want to think about trying to go a little bit further in the stretch, that in and out throughout that 30 to 45 seconds, and then moving on to the next stretch. So the first movement, guys, is going to be just what we call the butterfly stretch. This is why it's named the series. It's going to start from here. So we want to sit nice, tall, pretty posture. Don't be slunched over. So nice and tall. We're going to use our elbows to drive down on the inside of those thighs. And sitting nice and tall, inhaling and exhaling. I said with every exhale, you're just focusing on trying to just get a little bit more in that stretch. From here, after your bell goes off, what we're gonna do is now we're gonna take, for this one, we're gonna do our right leg, put it just in front of our left toe. We want a nice big knee bend in this leg. So from here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the opposite arm, so my right leg is up, my left hand, I'm gonna put it palm out. I'm gonna reach across. I'm gonna try to grab the inside of my foot. We're in a nice big lat stretch from here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm keeping that tight grip. I'm just gonna slowly straighten out my foot, little by little. Focusing on that breathing, inhaling, exhaling. Continue to stretch that foot out, but keeping that nice tight grip. So from here, we're gonna release that grip. We're just going to a classic hurdler stretch. So from here, depending on your flexibility, you're gonna aim for the shin, the top of the toes. If you can get towards the base of that foot and bring that head towards the knee. Inhaling and exhaling. After the hurler stretch, guys, this is gonna be our back cracker. So we're gonna keep that right leg out. We're gonna take our left leg and cross it over. And since we have our right leg out, we're gonna take our right arm and put our elbow on the outside of our knee. Take our left hand and just post back on that. And I'm gonna push and twist and look over my shoulder. Same thing, inhaling and exhaling. pushing away, trying to twist more and more and more. From there, what we're going to do is we're going to get ourselves a nice big knee hug. So we're going to sit nice and tall, get a nice good grip, and we're going to lean back, get a nice good glute stretch here. Working on that breathing, sitting nice and tall. And the last on this side is going to be just taking that knee hand and pressing down that knee, sitting nice and tall. Inhaling and exhaling, pressing down. So from here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to the butterfly stretch, and we'll repeat this sequence on the other side. So once again, we're gonna do the after a butterfly, we're gonna do our cross reach. We have that big bend our knee, opposite hand, palm out, reach and grab the instep of that foot, and working towards that straight arm. After our cross reach, we're gonna do our hurler stretch, folding down, reaching for the shin, the ankle, the toes, past the toes, past the heel, bringing our head towards the ground. From there, we're gonna do our back cracker. So we're gonna take the opposite leg of our straight leg, step it over, the same as our straight leg for our arm. We're gonna twist and post up and lean back, pushing that knee away and twisting away. Finishing with our next one is gonna be our knee hug. Sit nice and tall. Once again, pulling that in tight and sitting nice and tall. And then lastly is gonna be that knee press down. We're sitting nice and tall. Once again, driving that knee towards the ground. So there you have it, guys. That is our butterfly cool down series that was, like I said, I got from my Days in the Power Athletes Seminar staff. This is something I have my athletes do at the end of every session. It's a simple routine that flows nicely, and if you're doing about 30 to 45 seconds, you'll finish in about 3 to 6 minutes before you head out the door and jumpstart that recovery.